This thing on? Midwest box truck. Okay, so this one I feel like has been greatly overdue. Y'all let me know if my sound good right now. It's been a while since I tapped in with you guys live. So I wanted to do one of these tonight and pretty much just go over some of the changes that I've seen since I've started running Amazon Relay as opposed to now in 2024. And I'm also going to go over a few questions, that you guys may have, go through a few of the new policies and procedures that I'm seeing being rolled out by Amazon Relay because they're still currently making changes. That's kind of why I wanted to touch on, these things in this live stream. I haven't talked a whole bunch about the changes at Amazon more recently, but I know just within the last, I want to say week, they doing something with like facial recognition. I think I seen something about that in the last 3 days, and I thought that was like real crazy. Like, I guess they're still having issues with the identities of whatever drivers that are running their freight, and it's drivers running under other drivers' account. I'm guessing that's what it is. But yeah, they're doing some type of facial recognition deal now. So I saw that recently. Great Polo, what's happening? Yeah, yeah. I get them probably like at least once every couple weeks. They're asking me to take a picture during one of my Amazon runs. So yeah, that's something new that we definitely seeing. And right now it's different with, I feel like the volume is there. Okay, I'm seeing the volume. It's just who's running it. We know we have DSP. So that's a big part of it. And then the rates are something totally different. And that's something I'm going to touch on as well. Just the differences in the rates that we saw then, like I said, in 2021, as opposed to now. And we all know in 2021, we saw extremely high value. It was just an abundance of freight. It was owner operators that were running 2 to 3 loads, at once because it just wasn't enough trucks to support the amount of freight that was being moved. Eventually, all of that, as we know, has changed. But yeah, it was a abundance of freight. We saw rates normally in upwards of, I would say, $4 per mile. Rentals back then were under 500 a week on average. You could, find a decent rental with a decent rate. Insurance was what, $1,500 down for a lot of people, probably $1,200 a month or less. And also another difference was fuel. And all of this is kind of tied into overhead and, what individuals are able to or not able to profit as far as, with their box truck business. Because yeah, fuel was like $2.70 a gallon back then. I remember that. So that was something that was a big difference as well. Startup costs were between, I would say, 7,500 and maybe 10,000. To me, $5,000 to start a business was always irresponsible. Like, I wouldn't advise anybody to do that even back then. But with 10 grand, you could easily get started and begin making money and so forth. So that was something else that was different. You know, it was 7,500 to 10,000, like I said, to get started with a box truck, especially with a rental. And we also didn't have any DSP. So it was a lot less competitive with the rates, because when Amazon got in the jam, they were just in a situation where they had no choice but to pay. And now it seems like, from what I'm seeing on a regular night, they're not wanting to increase these rates on a lot of these loads. So you having to sit and wait and wait and wait. And even once they do increase it, it's not what it should have been. And also, we know way back then that it was a lot more relaxed, you know, rules and regulations, not just with Amazon, but with brokers, DOT, and so forth. I feel like box trucking now is a lot more scrutinized than it was 2 or 3 years ago. Back in the day, if, you know, DOT coming up the road and it's a semi and a box truck, from what I experienced, they would always pick the semi. Now it's kind of seeming like it's the exact opposite. They are looking at the box trucks a lot more closely due to different things that's occurred in the space. So that's a difference. But now, from my experiences, it is moderate to low volume at times. Like I said, right now, I feel like the volume is there, but it's spread out between the independent contractors as well as DSP. So it seems like the volume's not there. But when I'm in the facilities, and the loads that I'm moving right now are mostly full truckloads. Now, something else that I'm seeing is they are providing a lot more stops. So you're getting full truckloads, but you may have 6 or 7 stops on a particular route. So, like I said, it's moderate to low volume, but it's spread out between, you know, DSP and the independent contractors. And the rates, I mean, I think everybody kind of know what's going on with those right now. Most of what's coming out anytime in advance is going to be under $3 per mile. And sometimes a lot of the last minute loads that are coming out are even coming out under $3 a mile. And that's kind of what I was getting at a little earlier. Even when those last minute loads come out and they sit there and the times change, and it begins to come a situation where the freight's not going to arrive at the post office by that 8 a.m. cutoff, they're still not raising the rates above $3 a mile. And I'm seeing this every night. Like, they're reluctant to increase the rates. They're waiting on somebody, probably for the load to fall down through the performance scores into the people with C's and D's. But yeah, they'll have this freight be late to the post office over increasing the rate, as they used to do in the past, where you wait 10 to 15 minutes and then, you know, the rate jumps and it makes sense for you to run that load. That's not the case right now. So that's a lot of what we facing as well. And then also, like, even with the rental trucks, you know, we seeing a lot of these rentals that are in upwards of 700-800 per week still. So, like I said, back then, rentals were easy to secure for under 500 a week, maybe 15, 20, 25 cents a mile. but rentals still now are above $700 to $800 per week. So it's kind of like, you just gotta roll with the punches. And box trucks that people are actually purchasing have, I would say, come down somewhat. But I was looking a couple days ago, and I'm still seeing a lot of box trucks between $40,000 and $60,000 still, even with people not really buying them like that right now. I know you could get some for under 30, but you also got to be careful with that. But what I'm seeing is still a lot of them between, 40 and 60 grand. So he's asking, is a 16-foot box truck good for a local or regional starting up? I believe it is. And I know some individuals that do really well in 16-foot box trucks. And a lot of those guys don't want to run 26 footers. They swear by those 16 footers. And you also can use those with Amazon sparingly. I see them here and there, but you don't want to get in a bind with, booking the wrong loads. But pretty much that's like a cube truck. That's what they would consider that. So local and regionally, I think you can make some money in a 16 footer, but I probably would say I would maybe try to be open to maybe going a little further out. Cause like I said, I know some people in 16 footers, but they run them pretty much all across the US. They're not local. The particular guy I'm thinking of right now, he's not local. So, I mean, I don't know what you can actually make. I do know it's work for those regionally or locally. But I always thought with the 16-footer deal, if I'm gonna go with a 16-foot, I probably would just get a Sprinter van. To be honest, I don't know how much of a difference uh it's going to be between the two, especially space wise. But you can make money in a 16-footer. I mean, in short form, yes. But I would look into who you gonna plan on running with and what you're gonna be doing with it before you actually get it. And also, like I said, maybe be open to expanding the radius on how far you're willing to run, or look into getting possibly a Sprinter van, because it may be a lot more profitable and cheaper, you know, maintenance wise. So I'm not 100% sure exactly what you're planning on doing with it, but yeah, you can make money in the 16 footer, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, that's just a few things that I wanted to talk about, just the changes and differences. Like I said, they got the facial recognition, and then I got a few videos coming out. I really ran into a jam. My camera, one of my cameras was full. So I've been stuck trying to move some material in order to get it out. I've had an issue with content. I got a lot of stuff I need to put out. But yeah, I got some videos coming kind of touching on some different things pertaining to just the changes in Amazon that I'm seeing. And then I've ran some other freight and did some other things, which I'm not going to talk about right now. I'll let you guys catch that in um the new content I got coming out. But yeah, my camera, I was recording and recording and recording and not actually releasing the content. And then one of my cameras filled up. I tried to move it, and because I had some material somewhere else, it wouldn't let me move it so I could upload it. So yeah, I'm working on that right now. But in the next day or two, I'm gonna start releasing the content that I have, because yeah, I stopped recording so I could fix this issue, because it took me a week and I got it cleared up pretty much, but it took me like a week to like clear out some stuff. I even got rid of some stuff that I just said, forget it. I deleted it and it just would never be seen. A lot of stuff is never seen. So it is what it is. But yeah, I deleted some content. I moved some stuff around, and yeah, I got some stuff coming out with some different things I've been doing lately. I've been just super busy. That's why you guys haven't been seeing me that much as well. I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done, before at least the beginning of June. And stuff is working out. But yeah, it's hard. Like I said, it's easy to record the content, but to actually get it out, cut it, and make it to where you guys receive it in a way, yeah, it just is a lot of work. So if I'm super busy, like I said, I'm always recording, but releasing it is a different thing. And yeah, I just been kind of doing a bunch of different things to get stuff in order. So it's been a hassle getting this content out. But I'm gonna make it happen. And like I said, I'm changing it up. I'm trying to do different things. I got a bunch of equipment that I've had for over a year. Different things I could do with the camera and so forth, and I don't even use it. And I told myself within the last couple of weeks, I'm gonna start using that stuff because it's gonna change up my content and just the overall format of the way I'm putting it out. It's a lot of things I could be showing you guys, even inside of these post offices and so forth, that you guys don't actually see. But I got to start using this equipment that I'm not so used to using, but it is what it is. I'm gonna make it happen. But yeah, that's what's going on. Why I haven't been releasing so much content lately. Just been busy, and then this damn camera issue. The Renaissance. What's happening? What's happening? And yeah, y'all, everybody that's in the chat, let me know where y'all checking in from. I know I skipped over that. I jumped right into talking, but yeah, y'all let me know where y'all checking in from. I see Great Polo. And how Great Polo, how I know you was gonna say that though. Cause you be keeping tabs. So I knew you was gonna say your last live. So my last live was two months ago, and my last video was 2 years ago. I got you. I'm back working. I told you I'm clearing these issues up, and yeah, I'm gonna get back to it, man. I'm definitely gonna get back to it. The Renaissance, Maryville, Indiana. Maryville, Indiana. What's happening? My grandma used to stay in Maryville, Indiana. Kenosha, Wisconsin. Hey, every time I come to Kenosha, they show me a lot of love, man. I ain't gonna lie. People show me more love in Wisconsin than they do in Illinois, which Illinois, they show me love too. But yeah, every time I'm in Wisconsin, somebody stop me and be like, hey, I watch your content, and so forth. So yeah, shout out Kenosha, Wisconsin. Justin say he out of St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri. Great Polo out of St. Louis too. Yeah, but yeah, I think I'm gonna probably tonight. I may be on here about I'm thinking maybe an hour or so. I don't want to stay on here too long because I do I'm trying to make some money. It seems like it's gonna be a thunderstorm. That's another thing too. We've been having a lot of thunderstorms lately. And it seems like that's when Amazon is willing to pay. When the weather gets bad and they have to shut the yards down, because this is in a video as well that's coming out shortly, but I'm gonna speak on it anyway. Lightning struck a part of the facility at one of the facilities that I frequent. And one of the dock attendants, she was telling me that they saw like sparks fly from one of the dock doors. It knocked out some power and shut stuff down at the facility for a period of time. I pulled up, the whole facility was dark. So I'm like, and I'm here all the time. So I'm like, why it look like this? It looked weird. It was still trucks at the dock doors. And yeah, they lost power. And once they regained some of the power, I guess they ended up losing their internet service. So they were in there using hotspot and so forth to try to get the loads distributed. And yeah, it was a big mess. But yeah, we had like 3 days straight of thunderstorms. And each night I was picking them off. Like I get up soon as I know it's gonna storm, and I talked about this too, but yeah, as soon as I know it's gonna storm, I don't even rush to get there because I know the yard gonna get shut down. Individuals are gonna have to sit in line. A lot of individuals are on a clock. So when that time starts to run long, they have to have the loads either canceled or rejected. So it's a lot of rejected loads when it's severe weather and they shut these yards down. And a lot of those loads get redistributed about 5 or 6 a.m. oftentimes. So me, I just wait. I don't rush up there or book in advance. And now I've even started to kind of, I didn't do this so much in the past, but now I've even started to kind of look at the weather, especially if it's been like a, rainy day, or I've seen thunderstorms during the day. If I see thunderstorms between like 9 p.m. and 2 a.m., I don't even go to the facility or book a load because I already know what's going to happen. I get up like 2 a.m. and jump in the truck and head there then. And within 2 hours, I could get $700, $800, $900. And like I said, I was picking them off back to back, night after night, because people would study booking loads earlier in the day and then stuck in line for 2, 3, 4 hours because the yard shut down. And like I said, a lot of individuals end up rejecting those loads. So once they reject them, the people who waited end up getting those same loads for twice as much, if not more, than the original owner operators booked them for earlier in the day. So yeah, it's just a strategy that you kind of gotta have in certain situations because you gotta make the money when you can. Like I said, the average rate that's coming out is less than $3 a mile. And if you lucky, you might get 340, 350. Where you win at too, and this is a jewel, you just gotta kind of find runs that are almost round trips. That way it's not so much of an issue that you're not getting the full $3 per mile. If you get something going out somewhere, I ain't gonna say any particular area, you got to pick where you want to go. But if you get something going out somewhere and your first stop is going out, but your second stop is bringing you back towards the particular fulfillment center or wherever you want to end up at, then that's not the same as you going way out and then just having a deadhead back, because you're paying for a larger amount, or you're being paid for a larger amount of the particular trip that you're running. So that's just a little strategy I use too. If you're going to run for less than, say, $3 a mile, then at least make it something that's kind of like a round trip. That way it makes more sense profit wise, because otherwise you picking up all that deadhead. And it seems like Amazon too, I know they are. It don't seem like they're changing the areas that they're servicing as far as post office wise, because now they got runs going damn near over to St. Louis, coming out of facilities like, ORD9 and so forth. And we never saw these runs in the past. But yeah, I'm seeing stuff just going to a lot of different areas than I've seen in the past. Cause there's certain areas I've looked for particular runs that were going to those areas. And there were no runs. It may have been runs going near those particular areas, but not that actual area. Now I'm seeing runs going directly to certain areas that I know Amazon didn't service in the past. So they're increasing the stops. They're servicing a wider range of postal services. And like I said, a lot of the rates are a lot less than $3 a mile. And you could wait them out, but it's all a game. People gonna take them before they get to $3 a mile, and everybody got their own little strategy that works for them. So at the end of the day, you just kind of gotta, like I said, have some type of strategy or know when particular race. Like I said, tonight it's kind of storming, so I'm knowing between 2 and 5 a.m. it's gonna be a lot of loads, because even if it isn't a thunderstorm in severe weather, Amazon gives you the option to reject loads due to weather, and you not penalized performance wise. So individuals may just get up and decide they don't want to run a load, and then they'll reject it because it's not going to be a penalty next week. So that's one way out. But other than that, you're not really getting around rejections with Amazon. So that's just how they moving right now. Iceman Stan said he tried to sign up and it's been 180 days. Yeah, Amazon's had that policy in place for like a year now. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of individuals don't even get in at the 180 days. A lot of individuals don't get in at all. And I got another video touching on a couple issues I've even had in the last couple weeks. Like, I just had a really testy week, a week or so ago, where a lot of these shippers, and I talked about this in a particular video as well, but a lot of these shippers are, in my opinion, testing the drivers a whole lot more. A lot of the wait times are exaggerated, and it's just a lot of different things that's occurring. And I think it has a lot to do with, the way certain contractors may be carrying themselves. I think that's a big part of it. But I will say that, yeah, I've seen just an uptick in issues at different shippers and receivers. And like I said, I've been doing some different things other than Amazon, which you'll see in some of my upcoming videos. But yeah, it's just been testy with a lot of these shippers. I had an issue where I went in a place and it was a third party logistics facility, but it was actually a Amazon run, this particular run. And I arrived early, which I probably shouldn't have arrived early because now they really strict on the arrival times. But sometimes you could get away with it. Sometimes you can't. So I had a pickup scheduled at 12 p.m. I'm trying to get over here early, get it dropped by 12 p.m. and be free to do whatever else I wanted to do or look for another run. I go over at 11, just kind of testing the water. Honestly, the reason why I did this too, because when it came up, I saw a run picking up from over there at 11. So I knew it was two runs. Mine was picking up at 12. So I said, I'm going to go over here at 11. Maybe I'll beat the dude that's scheduled at 11. He'll load me. By the time I'm gone, he'll figure out this the 11 o'clock truck and I'm the 12, but I'm already be out of here. So it don't never work well when you try to finesse something. So I go over here, get over here at 11, and I have trouble finding the actual entrance. So the first driver, he beat me there. So pretty much I get there and I'm like, okay, I go in. Initially, the guy, he like super, respectful, and he cool, and he like, yeah, you a little early. I got 2 trucks. One of y'all supposed to be at 11, the other at 12. Do you have a second to wait? That way I could get everything straightened out with him, and then I'll let you go. I said, okay, cool, because I realized I was early anyway. So I said, you want me to open the truck up and wait there? You want me to wait in the truck, or how you? He like, well, you could do whatever you want as long as, you just give me a second to get this guy squared away. He said, even if you want to go get lunch and come back, that's cool. I go leave for 40, 50 minutes, come back probably 11:50, right before my pickup time. I come back in and yeah, they telling me to still wait. This carries on to after 12, maybe 12:20. I go back in, I'm like, I was set to load at 12, and pretty much had me waiting all this extra time. Like, what's going on? My departure, and listen, now I tell them my departure time is 1 p.m. So she said, oh, because this is the lady at the desk. She like, just wait in your truck. We're gonna have you out of here and load it by 12:50 at the latest. You'll be definitely out of here by 1. Okay. So at 12:55, it's still not a skid on my truck. And the guy that's inside, pretty much is just lollygagging around. Another truck has came and went, another box truck. I ain't said nothing. I'm just waiting. So at 12:55, I know it take ROC about 5 minutes to call you back on average when you put in a call. I put in that call for the cancellation. I'm like, I'm not about to, and I honestly felt that the shipper was purposely exaggerating the wait time. So I put in a call for the cancellation. I'm looking in the back of the truck. It's nothing in there. 1 o'clock come, he still didn't put anything in there. When I talked to ROC, I told him he ain't started loading by the time that I'm supposed to depart. I need y'all to cancel the load. So when I go inside, he's still wrapping skids, and he's like, yeah, I'm putting one. I told him, I'm like, you need to hold on because they may possibly be about to cancel the load. He like, what do you mean? And then he was earlier bragging about how he worked at Amazon for 7 years and this, that, and the other. And so I'm just telling him, I'm like, it's in ROC hands right now. They may be about to cancel it. He like, but the load's right here, so hang up. I'm like, hang up. He said, yeah. I'm like, no, that's not how it worked. And he say he worked at Amazon 7 years. Well, I didn't. So how don't you know the rules? I'm supposed to be loaded by my standard departure time. Otherwise, like I said, individuals use clocks. So if you have a individual waiting that's using the ELD, this could possibly throw off his time and he may not even be able to deliver. So I'm telling him, I'm like, it's in ROC hands. So he still go and put a skid on a truck. All right. Okay. So he put the skid on the truck, ROC on the phone. So he come back to me and he want to do this, back and forth. Well, I worked at Amazon for 7 years. I got a contact too. I'm like, I'm on the phone with the contact, the people that you supposed to contact when it's an issue. This the contact. Like whoever I can make a call and this, that, and the other, and you will take the load. I ain't about to argue with you. I'm still waiting on ROC because they are debating on what they're gonna do. So they come back and they tell me that, well, hey, he said, because they're communicating with him too. Hey, he said that he's loaded a skid onto the truck already. He loaded that skid after 1 p.m. He loaded that after my departure time. I had already initiated this call before he put anything on my truck. And I told him that y'all was on the phone. Y'all need to cancel this load. So they went back and they talked to somebody and they told me, you free to go. They told him we got to send another truck over there. So he instantly get on the phone and start emailing and sending messages and all of this. He upset now because it was just a back and forth he was playing. I guess showing me that he could make me wait and then force me to take the load regardless. Like I said you worked at Amazon all these years, but evidently you don't understand the rules. Like I've been doing this for a little while, and pretty much if you're required to wait after your departure time and it's nothing on the truck, that load could be canceled. So that's what I was explaining to him too, that you're beginning to load. I'm supposed to be gone already. And then if I'm late over here, I'm penalized. Well, I could send it to, man, you study talking about doing stuff with your personal phone that don't got nothing to do with my performance. So yeah, it was an issue. And he reported me. And yeah, I heard about it 2 days later. And he switched some stuff around and said that I was arguing with him and told him I wasn't taking the load. I was on the phone with ROC the entire time that this was occurring. So it was recorded anyway. But I just contacted my performance manager, gave him the case number. He looked into it, and exactly what he told me is I did everything I was supposed to do, ignored, and I was good because, yeah, he was just trying to make me wait. And then like I said, this is why you got to be careful because now it turned into that I was arguing. I ain't arguing with nobody. I was on the phone. He didn't even know I was calling ROC. And I'm looking at the time at 12:55. I made I put that case in. And so at 1, when I saw it wasn't nothing on the truck, yeah, he was already done and he didn't even know it. But he telling me what he can and can't do and who he gonna call and this, that, and the other. But this what you gonna go through out here, and some people just be in a bad mood and out here starting trouble. But I'm seeing this a lot more, even maybe not to that extent, but just constantly being required to wait. And trucking is all about waiting, but it's to a different level right now where it just seems like you just being forced to wait for nothing. You will have 3 skids on your truck, wait an hour and leave with 3 skids on your truck. What was the purpose of that? Like, I don't understand it. But yeah, that's a lot of what's going on right now. Yeah, Great Polo. They make you wait at the gate until I guess they don't see any thunder and lightning, for a period of time. But we just really saw, what can occur. Because like I said, the dock attendant, she said she saw sparks fly at a dock door. Cause I got in there and I know they tired of seeing me at 5, 6 in the morning. I can't be telling y'all about time, but yeah, they see me pull, they be like, every night you pull up here at this, like how you it just I already know how stuff gonna go. So I just wait them out. But yeah, they was telling me it was like the end of the night. Man, they was ready to get up out of there. Like it been a crazy night from the shutdown and then I guess lightning hit some part of the building. And yeah, they said it was probably the biggest boom they ever heard. So that just show you what can occur in those thunderstorms. So it makes sense. But then all of us, yeah, we all sitting outside at the gate. So yeah, that's them situations, they be crazy. That's why I try to avoid them altogether, because you sitting out here, you idling, or you got to turn the truck off, and who knows how long you're gonna end up waiting. So yeah, I try to avoid them and just get in there between 3 and 5 a.m. And for some reason, that's always when the storm is ending, like 3 a.m. And then everything come out. They got stuff going 80 miles for $600 and $700. So yeah, it's just a waiting game when it's severe weather. I don't think tonight gonna be as bad as it was, 3 or 4 days last week. But yeah, it was rough last week. Every night, like I said, I'm just interception after interception. I'm knowing that somebody rejected load, and I'm just waiting because it's like 3, 4 of them on there at a time. Nobody taking them because they either just rejected a load or they still trying to load or pick up whatever they booked from earlier in the day. So it kind of be just like it really be a free for all. Greg Poole said, "Who did I use for taxes? I use H&R Block. They have a business tax professional at one of the places that I go to, and that's where I've done it the last few years. But I've said pretty much, I I already know how to file my own taxes. It's just more providing them with the information and them inputting it and standing behind it. But once you file a couple years, you kind of got an understanding of the thresholds for what you can write off and what you can't. So it's usually gonna fall within those same guidelines. So I do all of the averaging everything up, putting the numbers together, and then I provide it to them. They look at it and make sure everything makes sense, and then they file it. So yeah, I don't initially I started with it like a CPA, somebody that was more, and she explained some things to me that I always kind of held on to. So I almost do my own taxes, honestly. But yeah, I file with H&R Block. The guy talking about he had been at Amazon for 7 years. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, he was super cool when I initially came in. I don't know what it was, but he just wanted to go back and forth. And like I said, I'm not even gonna contact ROC unless I know I'm in the right. But in these situations, why I say you got to be careful, because it's your word against theirs at the post offices, at the third party logistics facilities, and so forth. And a lot of people don't have a contact that they could talk to and get things straightened out pretty quickly. Because like I said, he reported that I was arguing. I don't argue. I don't go back and forth, none of that. Like I said, 12:55, I'm putting in for this cancellation. At 1 o'clock, they call me, cancel the load. Who I'm arguing with? He didn't even know what was going on. So, like I said, he was just so upset that he couldn't make me wait, then load me late, and then send me on my way. That's why he was upset that he had to wait on another truck. So then it turns into, okay, I'm gonna make up stuff. Now he was arguing with me. He told me he wasn't gonna. No, I ain't tell you I wasn't gonna take the load. I said ROC about to make the final decision. So I'm waiting. Oh, I got a contact. Hey, I got the contact. So oh wow, he was there 7 years, but you don't know the rules though. So if he took that as me arguing with him, then so be it. But like I said, I went to my performance manager and I forward everything to him. And if you in the right, then you can show them everything. Here go the trip, see what time I showed up, and then I report things in the trip notes. That's something I advise you guys to do too. When something's occurring, report that real time in the trip notes. That way, when he went back at 1:11 p.m. in the trip notes, I put ROC just cleared me to leave. They said I could go. They gonna cancel the load. So when he went back, all that's in the trip notes. That's exactly what he said. I ain't making it up. He said you did everything right. Ignore it. So I ignored it, and I'm gonna go back over there. I mean, it is what it is. It just, you say you've been here 7 years, then educate yourself on the rules. You need to put some on my truck before my standard departure time, or the load gonna get canceled, and they're gonna give me 175. He won't try that with nobody else. So that's just what it was. He ain't know the rules. So it just kind of is what it is. But y'all gonna run into that. That's why I say you gotta have some type of plan on how you gonna deal with people, because that's what the video was about. And a lot of these videos are you gonna be tested. See what I'm saying? You ain't gonna just start a trucking company, get rich, and go on in the glory. You gonna be tested out here. Maybe not today, but you will be tested tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, you will be tested next week. It ain't gonna all be peachy cream though. So once you understand that, and then, like I said, you have some type of plan on how to do. I don't argue with people. I ain't going back and forth or none of that. That's the quickest way to get yourself in trouble. Get a freight ban put on you, ban from Amazon Relay and so forth. So you got to watch how you conducting yourself. And like I said, even without going back and forth with people and things like that, stuff like this could still be said. So it's going to happen. That's for sure. St. Louis, I think, is a good area to run out of, because I think a lot of people be sleep on like Edwardsville, Illinois. I think the facility's still there. And then right on the other side into St. Louis, I ain't been over there, so I only been over there like twice. But it's a couple facilities over there, things that'll bring you back, towards like the Chicagoland area, and stuff that'll take you deeper into St. Louis. But if you don't really have a radius on where you want to run, as far as, with your truck, yeah, St. Louis definitely is a decent area. And you could play back and forth between St. Louis and Illinois the same way you can with Wisconsin and Illinois, or Indiana and Illinois. So any of those states, even Iowa, I've been doing some stuff over into Iowa, and they suggested a reload when I went that way. And that ain't happened a whole lot, but it is some spots in Iowa that's actually fulfillment centers that are, pushing stuff out now. And I ran into that about a week or so ago. So it's definitely some freight over towards St. Louis. And like I said, I think a lot of people kind of sleep on them areas. Everybody want to pile into certain areas. And that's a big part of the problem that we're running into, you know, where, I run out of. And then also just individuals not wanting to really run longer trips. So everybody's looking to get something and stay close in whatever area, they're running out of. People don't really want to run the trucks. So when everybody's looking for the same type of loads, going to the same type of places, which are local or regional, it's going to be a fight over the freight. And a lot of the trips that just to me is nothing, 200, 250 miles, individuals don't want to do those. They want to run shorter, 100, 150 miles, and then come back. So that's a lot of the runs that are snatched up really quick. And then, of course, the round trips, which like I said, some of those make sense where you going out and you coming back, but you making over $700 for the particular run. And then when you done, you may be 40, 45 minutes from where you started. That's not a bad run. And in the last week, they had stuff which y'all see some of the race in my upcoming videos. But yeah, the race was up there for a week or so, just due to the weather. That's all it really was, honestly. Y'all getting ahead of me. Slow down. Let me go back. Yeah, let me move over. Yeah, them last minute loads, yeah, they pay. Definitely. Last minute ones, they definitely coming in at it was stuff on there for over $6 a mile last week, just sitting there because everybody was tied up in that storm. So yeah, they definitely was they was paying. And it show you they will pay. That's what be crazy to me. Cause the next night people will go back to taking 245, 250 a mile. That's the average going rate right now. Probably 240, 250 a mile. And if you ain't getting that on a round, I don't be understanding how people could afford to run that type of freight. But it ain't my business. Like, do what you want. But I do sometimes wonder how people remain in business with the type of freight that they willing to take. Cause I see stuff disappear and I be like, ain't no way you about to run 300 plus miles and come back like less than $700. Like, how? Like, what is your cost per mile? Is it free? Like, do you can't have a cost per mile, running them type of loads. And I'm just being honest. Like, I do sometimes wonder like how people profit with some of the loads that they're running. But I see them take it every single day. Stuff that I just much rather go to sleep on and tell you the truth. Like I I can't run those. It just I get upset running those type of runs. I feel I feel stupid running. I ain't gonna lie. I be riding, man. I be arguing with myself about even some lows that people might think were decent lows. When I see something better, I be upset. But yeah, I be arguing with myself the whole ride taking some of the lows that individuals are booking right now. It just be crazy. Chicago's very own. What's happening? I ain't see you the last live stream. Good to see you though. Yeah, H&R Block is they pretty expensive. I say that, but they guarantee. That's why I say they look over what you give them in depth, and they guarantee and bag if it's ever anything that comes back from the IRS. So that's kind of a plus too. But yeah, they are expensive. And when you talking business taxes, yeah, it's a lot different than your personal. So yeah, they can be expensive. And they don't have a bunch of, tax professionals that, do business taxes. You got to go to certain branches because initially I called one branch and they didn't have anybody that did them. So yeah, it just is hit and miss. You got to call and they'll kind of direct you to whoever may do them if they have one in your particular area. Dragonfly say you still keeping it 1,000 out there. I try to. I try to. Some days I fall short, but on average, I will say I've been able to make about 700 a day, maybe more. Yep, it just depends between 700 and 1,000. So I try to, but that ain't gonna happen every day. You just kind of gotta roll with it. You're gonna have your good days, you're gonna have your bad days, but it's definitely picking up and in more ways than one. It's not just with Amazon. I gotta check my email because I'm more than likely about to start a contract with a guy that I got with off Indeed, and it was listed as white glove, but I looked into it anyway, and he asked me, did I have any white glove experience, which I've done some white glove in the past, not a whole lot. And I'm thinking it's furniture or installing dishwashers or things of that nature. Cause I got a bunch of content. I also talk to RXO, and that's gonna come in a video as well. Now they're doing more installation, but this particular guy that I'm probably going on board with, um, he said I'm moving pallets of Pepsi. And when he said that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do it. I just really ain't want to be doing like furniture or installation because I talked to, like I said, the lady from RXO, and it didn't sound that appealing to me. I'm gonna be honest, and it'll be coming in another video that I got. But yeah, I talked to her and she was talking about like 300 a day base, and then they paying you like $15 to $20 a stop, and then they want you to do like 15 to 30 stops. And I'm asking her how long the day gonna be, and she saying it could be a 12-hour day. So that's $300 base, and she said they were doing a $400 base, meaning you show up and you get $400. But that was for overnights. They're not doing overnights no more. So now it's a $300 base rate, and then 12, 15, $20 a stop. And she said they were delivering a lot of cabinets and stuff like that. And I kind of explained to her that one of my issues is, you know, whether or not I want to hire drivers. I kind of debate on that from time to time, but I don't really want to. I don't want to have to depend on somebody, for a contract. And so I was asking her, was it anything that she had that I could possibly do on my own? And she said the cabinets were like one man, but they wanted you to be available to do everything. And it was a two-man job and a two-man requirement to sign up. So yeah, I told her I'd get back to her. I still got her number, but I ain't interested. But I talked to this other guy, and yeah, he's pretty much saying that it's just moving Pepsi products. So I emailed him back this morning, and I'm just trying to see how that's gonna work. But yeah, I may be on board with that guy because it seemed pretty simple. I mean, and it's kind of like food service, but yeah, from what he was telling me, it seemed pretty simple. He had it labeled as 150,000 a year, but I don't know if I 100% believe that. I see what he talking about pay wise. Once we kind of talk more in depth, we've been emailing back and forth for like the last week or so, but it's a bunch of opportunities out here. I always recommend Indeed.com, and it's other places you could look too, but it's a lot of opportunities I've been seeing in the last 30 days or so. Freight is definitely starting to pick up. Like I said, even with Amazon, but DSP is, live and well as well. So, well, competing with them for a lot of the Amazon freight. And it seemed like they drop their lows and then that's it. And you just gotta wait on what may trickle down. It's not like I don't see 3 and 4 different times where Amazon is like dropping lows now, how it was in the past. It seemed like it's one big burst. And once that's taken, everything is scarce. So that's just kind of how it is right now. But it's definitely picking up. It's way more opportunities than I think individuals make out to be. It's just what you do or don't want to do. That's gonna be really the determining factor. Like I said, I wasn't interested in the RXO deal, but somebody else might be. And they may make a whole bunch of money. It didn't sound that appealing to me. I'm just being honest. Like $300 and then all them stops and then that long of a day. No, I'm good. I'll just keep running Amazon during the day. I'll pass on that. But I mean, some individuals may find value in it. It just depends on, you know, what your goals and, intentions are as far as moving your truck. So Mike Miller said, "How many points come after a rejection?" It depends on the time frame in which you reject the load. Because if you reject it within 6 hours or less, I believe it's like a 8 times penalty. So yeah, the later you wait, if you're gonna reject the load, I will reject it as soon as possible, especially if you know it's unavoidable. Some people will wait around and try to find somebody to the last minute and then reject. Just reject the load now if you know you don't have a way to run it. Because depending on other people, man, that load ain't gonna get ran. Like people not dependable these days, unless it's like one of your day ones or something like that, man. Nobody's gonna run that. Nobody gonna run that load for you, man. Like, go ahead and reject the load, take your lick, and get it over with. But stop sitting and waiting to an hour before tomorrow. I couldn't find nobody. I knew you weren't gonna find nobody because you just nobody's taking no loads no more. A person can take a load. They're gonna make up excuses, or they double brokering and all. So you're just not gonna really find a whole lot of assistance. I will reject the loads as soon as possible. But yeah, definitely if you reject within 6 hours, it's like a 8 times penalty. Before that, I believe it's 1 or 2 times. And yeah, it's not as bad. But I was just talking to an individual, we usually rap every time I bump into him. And I ran into him and we were just talking and he was like, man, the difference between a 99% and 100% is like night and day. It is. 1% is not like school. Like, forget about what they taught you in school. Like A plus, the A, no. Amazon don't go by none of that. They got their own setup on how they rate your performance. And yeah, a 99%, that's like a C, not A. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an A. That's barely a B in Amazon's world. So people don't realize that you gotta almost have 100% to make money with Amazon. Like, I finesse to keep my 100. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I probably shouldn't even tell y'all, but we gonna kick it. I'm gonna tell y'all regardless. Just a couple days ago, I had to finesse something to save my performance score. And yeah, I booked the load and I thought it was coming out of actually the facility where dude tried to report me at. And this would have been 10, 15 minutes from where I was at. Cause the names were similar. Like both of the beginnings started with the same 3 letters, but the end was different. And I booked the load so quick because it was paying like 250 some odd dollars to go 30 miles. And it was during the day. So I booked it super quick. I'm in the gym. I run out of the gym, get in my car. I got to drive to the truck. But I'm thinking that it was this one load that's 20 minutes away. This load actually is picking up out of Batavia, Illinois. So it's damn near an hour away. And I got a little more than an hour right when I booked. So yeah, I jump in my car, run to the truck, and I'm heading over, and it's saying I'm 7 minutes late. So as I'm going over, I turn around and I'm watching and I'm watching. I end up 10 minutes late. So I go to the particular facility and I'm like, damn, I'm like 99% is like I said, like a C. So the second you even get a late, you in that box, like it's a big difference. So when I get here, I'm hoping that the load cancel. And I go in and I have been to this particular facility before. And the individual I deal with, he really don't want to do nothing no way. Like he be wanting to say it ain't no freight, you know. So when I go in, I see him and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I instantly start talking a certain type of way. I'm like, yeah, man, they've been booking these loads all week. They keep canceling. I don't know why they keep sending us over here. I know it ain't no freight over here. Like, so I look at them and I'm like, do you got any freight? Is the load gonna cancel? Like, because they keep putting these up and they keep canceling. He like, we got about half a skid. I'm like, but do that even make sense? Do you really want to like do all of that to load me with half of a skid? Would it make more sense for you to just send that out tomorrow? And he looking at me and he like, yeah, it is just half a skid. He like, what you want to do? I'm like, man, I could just call them and tell them that, you know, the load, you don't need to be canceled if you don't got an actual load for me to run, but that's kind of up to you. And he like, yeah, man, I did. He like, yeah, just call him, just call him. And I'm like, now when I call him, you know, ROC might want to talk to you, so I might have to bring you. He like, yeah, that's cool. So I called ROC and I just told him that he said that they didn't have anything too low. They did not have a full skid for my truck. And he talked to him and he verified that it wasn't no freight. And yeah, I was free to go. But then that cleared out my time for that trip. So I got a 175 cancellation fee, but I didn't get penalized for being late because the trip actually canceled. And when Amazon cancels the trip, that clears out all of your time. So that's what I was hoping that he was going to do. But it could have been a situation where they had 8 skids and then I would have just had to, you know, take that lick. But luckily, with this particular dude, you know, he was cool and they really didn't have nothing substantial anyway. He didn't want to load that little, I don't even think they had half a skid. So yeah, it just was something that I had to do because I'm like, man, with these, you know, performance score metrics right now, it's tough, man. It really, you definitely gotta, you definitely might have to finesse something. I ain't gonna lie, you definitely will to stay out of the hot seat. Cause man, you like being my boy was talking about like the difference between 100% right now and 99% is like night and day. So you definitely want to stay on top of that performance. And I luckily have not, you know, had anything less than 100% pretty much this year. But I know people struggling with that right now. You know, once you drop down to, you know, that low, it's an issue. You're gonna have some problems. You gotta have something else lined up. Chicago's very own said when your cost per mile is low, the market doesn't matter. You can make money. I mean, that's true. And that's something I've worked on, since I've been in business. And I will say now my cost per mile is really low. And it's certain things that I've done to make it lower. Like now I only pay 812 a month for commercial insurance. And I got all the same coverages that you guys got. It's just who you go through and who they go through. And I got 4 different companies or 3 different companies for all of my coverages, but they got my rate to yes, $812 a month. And I know a lot of individuals paying over $2,000 per month. And that's for one truck. So yeah, that definitely helps with my cost per mile. And it makes a difference. I still try to run, more profitable loads, but it helps when it's lower, because you see more of your profit. VA in the building. Great Polo. I see you on one tonight. They get the cost per mile format. Yeah, low or no truck note. Yeah. A lot of people got older trucks too. And that's something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a live stream on here coming up. I ain't gonna put it out there, but I got something that I want to talk about with the particular trucks, older and newer trucks, and so forth. And I'm gonna do that within a week or so. So you guys will definitely be seeing me live probably in at least the next week. Cause it's a live stream I want to do. And then I got a question for a lot of y'all just pertaining to the older and the newer trucks and just to get you guys opinion on something. And so yeah, that's definitely one that I want to do here shortly. But you, Michael Miller say he rejected a load 3 days before and they hit you 17 points. It's supposed to be like 2. Oh, you said you got it fixed? Yeah, because it's not supposed to be that much of a penalty. But it's like 8 to 16 times now. They hit you crazy if it's less than 6 hours. Great Polo, Great Polo said I would have finessed your ass out of the door. I know you would have, Great Polo. That's how you get down. You the loader too. You would have got down on me like that. I already know. Yeah, my performance score would have got hit that day, huh? No, dude was cool. I damn near thought about going back in and tipped him. I was like, man, he don't know how much he just saved me because I was thinking the whole way over there. I'm like, man, it's a shame, man. Why 10 minutes got to do you that bad? To where you look at the type of decisions that 10 minutes got you making. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I don't get it, but yeah, you definitely got to do what you got to do. You might have to pay somebody like, hey, can I hit you to go ahead and put this young, what's a jig in? Cause yeah, that's 6 weeks it's gonna affect your money. So that's something you got to think about. You got 6 weeks of struggling to book loads. What you want to do? And that's why, like I said, when I was thinking on the way over there, and every time I've dealt with the guy, he damn near wanted to tell me it wasn't no freight, no way. But it's been times that it was like 2 truckloads and he had to load me. So yeah, but it worked in my favor that time because man, it was like during the day and it was only like 30 miles to the facility, but in Chicago traffic at midday and 2, 3, man, you don't never know how long it could take you to get from one place to another. So that's the issue I ran into. And also that I wouldn't even book the load had I actually saw where it was going, but it looked really similar. And that's what them fast fingers will do to you too. Like people be watching that board and quick to, book a load. And sometimes you would think it said one thing and it said something else. Oftentimes, too, with these postal facility loads at night, individuals don't even look at the preceding stops. I know that y'all see the last stop and the rate and y'all book it. I know people not because you can't even look at if you look at the stops, you lost that load. That's how Amazon rocking right now. That's how the carriers are rocking. That's why I say it's super competitive. If a trip come up on the load board and you tap on it and you look at what stops are there, you lost that trip. Because the next dude didn't look at what stops that were there. He don't care where he going. He just booking it off the rate. It says $723. He booking that. $723, 353 miles, he gone. He on his way to the facility to get loaded. He don't care. So if you're taking the time to look at where you're going, you're gonna lose them loads. I'm gonna tell you right away because yeah, people not waiting right now. They just booking. Yeah, shoot me an email. I'll get you hooked up with. I got a video where I put my insurance broker in there. But yeah, shoot me an email and I'll hook you up with them. Yeah, they definitely got me down super low. That's why I'm trying to hold on to them. And that's another thing, like, with these insurance companies, y'all got to pay y'all insurance on time. Like, if y'all don't pay, if y'all don't pay these people their money on time, I'm telling you, they're gonna start looking for reasons to get rid of you. Similar to if you sitting up here and you having a bunch of claims and incidents, the insurance company gonna try to part ways with you. They're gonna use that 30, 60, however many day rule they got to, you know, cancel y'all agreement. They're gonna get rid of you. So you definitely want to watch what type of claims you having on your policy as far as accidents or if you're damaging things, when you're running your truck, damaging freight and so forth. All of that's going to affect your insurance rates and even if they will insure you at all. I've heard of a lot of individuals that, especially like Progressive, a lot of people ran afoul of Progressive. And that's why now people are looking into other insurance options because, yeah, over the last few years, a bunch of people have had issues with Progressive and claims and payments and so forth. But yeah, I hold on to the insurance company I'm with because Progressive tried to go up to like 2,200 a month on me for no reason. So yeah, once they did that, I was gone. I was like, nah, enough is enough. And I had been with them almost 4 years when they did it. So yeah, right now I'm hearing that they going up on a lot of people's rates. Hot shot. I don't know. I mean, hot shot could work. I wouldn't do it. I never really wanted to do hot shot. Just one thing is, I'ma tell you, DOT is gonna flag hot shot over. I see it all the time. Hot shot is not the same as like a flatbed trucker. You see flatbed truckers drive all the time and have no issues. It seems like DOT targets hot shots, especially in other areas like Illinois may be slightly more lenient, but I see it here too. But if you get in places like Tennessee, Ohio, and so forth, hot shot is oftentimes the first ones they pulling in to those weigh scales to inspect, to make sure that that freight is strapped down properly. They know that it's inexperienced individuals that are getting trucks and trailers and operating as hot shots. And a lot of individuals don't even have CDLs. So, like I said, you just got to be careful because, yeah, DOT will target you. And, so many of them violations, then now that'll essentially put you out of business. So, I never wanted to do hot shot, but I know some people that do it, but I would be careful with it because, yeah, you definitely way more high risk. How long is it taking for us to get access to contracts? That's a question I can't answer. They keep trying to get me to do some type of training. I don't even look at the contracts. I'm just being honest, like, because I know they don't pay no money. So I'm not even signed up to look at contracts because I don't really pay them no attention. I really don't even ever book loads in advance. I pretty much just work off the spot load board. So yeah, contracts will be way beyond me because yeah, I don't even pay those any attention. I haven't, at least in my area, heard anything good about contracts ever. So yeah, I haven't heard a lot good about contracts. I don't even look at them. I know people in the area that have kind of told me what they see for the contracts, but they don't ever make a whole lot of sense if you ask me. It dropped to a 83.3 and they fixed it. So that was cool. How long did it take them to fix it? How long were you at 83.3? That's the question. I know I haven't had any disputes recently, but I know it's usually like a week or so. Another thing you could do if you get uh infraction, dispute it right then. Go to last 7 days in your performance score metrics and dispute that right away. And they'll normally get back to you before it actually hits your performance score. That's something I will do if I ever do have an infraction because waiting a week for them to get back to you, even after they fix it, you already suffered a week's penalty for something that you shouldn't have had a penalty for. So if you dispute something after it hits your score, you know, it the performance score metrics change on Sunday morning. So if you dispute something Monday morning after you saw it Sunday morning, then you got a whole week that you waiting, to have it fixed. So I dispute mines in advance. when I can and when I know of it, which most times I see it beforehand. Man, Great Polo, you a nuisance, man. I know it's taking me a minute to get to my comments. It's because I'm over here rambling. I ain't been live for a while, so I got a lot to get out. But I'm caught up. I'm caught up. James A says, evening, who brokers your insurance? I'm with Folsom. Folsom Insurance is who I was guided to through my broker. So I don't even remember the exact guy I talked to, but I can get you him. But go through Folsom Insurance. They're the insurance company that provided me the rates that I have. And I've guided another individual to them as well. And he was a little older than me, so his was cheaper, but he had I think a, a good rate with Progressive, which it wasn't worth him changing and paying that down payment. So yeah, Folsom, Folsom Insurance. Look them up. And yeah, they'll definitely get you straight. And if you need a direct contact, which you don't, because I'm gonna tell you, they all are really good people. I spoke to a few of them. And yeah, they'll get you straight. They'll definitely get you a good rate. And like I said, you're gonna have different companies for your cargo and your general life, but who cares? I got the same commercial insurance that you guys have, and it's probably less than half of a lot of individuals' insurance. So yeah, normal to me is 11, 1200 a month, but I'm seeing a lot of individuals spending over 2000 a month for, like I said, one truck for the same commercial insurance with the same coverage. So yeah, you definitely need to shop around. Definitely. Yeah, that hot shot risky. I definitely would. Yeah, definitely be careful with hot shot. I'm about to start working. That's what I'm saying. I'm expanding my horizons. It's crazy because I didn't got by. I don't use DAT load board because really I understand that I'm not really trying to go nowhere. I keep my little radius within like 300 miles, and that works for me. And I see another comment where they're saying, "Can you survive off Amazon alone?" I would say it depends on your area and your knowledge of their system. I could, but do I think most people can? Nah. And that's probably the best way I could put it. I could survive off Amazon alone, but a lot of people can't. And a lot of people aren't in my area. So, depending on what area that you're running out of, it may not even be possible, no matter what your knowledge level is. It's just not going to happen because the rates aren't going to permit or the volume isn't going to permit. But I could survive off of just Amazon. I mean, I almost do, but I do understand that things are constantly changing. And one day individuals could wake up and it just be a whole different ball game. So knowing that, I try to prepare myself and build other relationships with gig apps, with different brokers and other companies and shippers off of, like I said, Indeed and so forth. That's always a good idea. And like I said, I was looking at something that said white glove, and I'm thinking that it's moving furniture and it's moving Pepsi products. So you never know until you inquire. Same thing with RXO. You know, I figured I probably wouldn't want to do it, but I still looked into it just to see if it was something worthwhile. Because depending on what the money is paying, if it's paying right, then I'm open to trying out, almost anything as far as moving freight. But I'm not gonna put my time and effort into, you know, long days for low pay. That's just asinine. Like I don't, it don't make sense. So yeah, certain stuff I just don't even want to waste my time with. But yeah, I definitely am thinking about getting on DAT probably within the next couple weeks. But I may have, like I said, this contract. So if I got the contract in Amazon, once again, I almost don't even need it. Oh, they fixed it in 24 hours. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. That's rare because a lot of times people end up waiting a week or more. Yeah, that's a pretty good rate. When I was in a Sprinter van, I paid a little over 600 a month, I believe, for my commercial insurance. So 500 a month and 1,000 down, that's definitely not a bad rate. Cause yeah, I think I was, and I could be wrong, but I believe it was slightly over 600 that I was paying. With a rental truck, if you running it for a couple days, yeah, you need to add that truck to your insurance. And usually if you don't have a relationship with the rental company, then they're going to require that you come in with that insurance. Like if you have a relationship with them, then they may just give you the keys and expect you to add it on your own. But yeah, you even if it's a day or two, you want to add that truck to your insurance because anything could happen. So you don't want to be out there and realize you had an issue and it's not covered because then now you got a problem. So yeah, even if it was a day, I definitely would add the rental to my insurance. See, I really don't know. The truth matters is asking if you sign a rental contract with Enterprise for 5 months. Usually you just sign a rental contract. It's not for a period of time. So you can rent or not rent whenever you want. Because if you bought a truck, then you wouldn't need the rental truck. So I've never signed a rental agreement for a period of time. I don't know if that's something new they're doing now, but yeah, it's just a rental contract, meaning if I rent, these are the terms, these are the rates, this is the cent per mile. Like it shouldn't be a binding 5 or 6 month contract from what I've experienced. Now, maybe that's something new they're doing, but that don't make a whole lot of sense. So yeah, it should be just a contract in general. So yeah, with that regular contract, if you could keep the truck for 3 days and take it back, you're not binded into anything. So yeah, I don't know who's doing that, but yeah, I've never experienced that. The contract just states the terms for when you do rent. It doesn't require you to rent for any time frame. Man, y'all gotta show the man, y'all gotta show that that's what y'all want. Y'all want that collab. It gotta be it gotta be a demand for that. We gonna put all that together. Y'all ain't gonna watch it. Nobody gonna like none of the lives. Look, y'all hit the like button. It's 14. I guess some people have hit the like button. If you in here and you haven't hit the like button, please do so. I greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button. But yeah, y'all gotta show that demand. We did a couple live streams. Me and Gray Polo said when me and Mark gonna do another collab. Y'all gotta show that demand, man. This stuff be a lot of work, man. Y'all we don't be feeling the love, man. Y'all gotta show the love, man. We gotta feel the love, you know. Once we feel the love, we gonna give y'all the love. That's how it go. However weird that sound. I keep hearing that DAT low boy got a lot of stuff locally and regionally. And that's why I want to, get on there. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I try to survive off the minimum. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like if I don't need it, I don't use it because I understand too that I pay attention. Everybody's now saying you got to spend some money to see the best loads on DAT. So that's kind of something that I think about too. To get the best loads, you're gonna have to spend. If I'm not using it, then what's the purpose? I had DAT probably 4 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, and it was when I was in a Sprinter van. And when I went on there and looked for Sprinter van loads, I could hardly ever find anything that made sense. And it was probably partially how I was looking. I didn't know how to search for Sprinter van loads on DAT. But the point I'm making, when I had it, I didn't really ever make any money off of it. So I just got to the point where I got rid of my subscription and, you know, use other avenues to get freight. But I am thinking about getting back on there because a lot of people do keep telling me that it's a lot of opportunities locally and regionally, which I'm willing to run. Like I said, I'll run up to 300 miles, which for a lot of individuals, that's too far. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of individuals don't even want to run 200 miles, and that's 300 miles out and coming back. So total would be like 600 miles. So great Polo, appreciate that. It's about time you gave me $2 too, because I was finna say something about that because you give everybody $2 and you ain't never gave me $2 before. So I was just finna get you, but I appreciate that, Great Polo. I thought you was treating me different. I thought you was trying to treat me different, but you gave me $2. Whatever, Great Polo. You see from what I'm hearing though, it's not $50 a month. They're saying this is more like 150 or 200 a month. Somebody was just talking about. I think it's a couple content creators. I think Kirk and Big Vic spoke about the DAT subscriptions, and it's a difference. I don't know because I don't use it, but I know that it's a difference in what you see depending on what you pay. So yeah, it's hit and miss. So if I got DAT, I'm getting the best subscription. That way I could see the most lows. So yeah, it's just it's something I've been thinking about, but I'm sure within the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I heard that $50 package ain't where it's at. They saying that ain't it. Like you're not going to see the full amount of the lows on there. Good luck, Great Polo, though. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. I don't know how long Amazon Relay will let you be like idle without using the account before they delete it. But it's a while. You don't have to use it, for a period of time. And I don't know how long. I think you'll probably have a badge issue, but he's saying that he just started with Relay, but he hasn't used it yet. Now you'll be fine. You probably could go 6 months at least before they'd actually get rid of your account. And I don't know. I've never experienced that, but I have heard of people's accounts being deactivated, but not often. Not often. Grace Logistics, what's happening? Man, why you be I ain't even getting it today. I ain't going back and forth with you and your issues with other content creators, Great Polo, because I don't know what your issue is with certain content creators. What's the problem? I need to touch on that as far as Relay, and I that's one of the videos I'm gonna make too. Relay right now, because I was gonna say that this is kind of what I'm getting at. I don't know if I would want to start and try to navigate Amazon Relay now. It's so tricky. Like, and that's kind of tying just back into the whole 2021 versus 2024. You could come in 2021 and by accident start making money. Like I said, rates above $4 a mile and fuel was just super cheap. And so it was easy. Now it takes a lot more thought. They also, from what I'm hearing, and this wasn't the case when I started either, you don't get full access to these lows until pretty much you have ran so many loads for so many months, but they're like monitoring you when you start and you don't even get full access. You used to could just run 3 loads and you good. Now Amazon got you going through like a vetting process where, they're kind of watching you and they don't give you full access. Man, that makes it difficult. On top of the fact, a lot of individuals already waited 180 days to get in. Now you got another 90 days and them restricting the load boy to you and so forth. So it's just hard for new people, especially if they don't have guidance. Even things as simple as waiting at a guard shack. If you're waiting there, sometimes the app will ding you're on time because you waiting at that guard shack. And if you're new and you don't know to go in and report the delay in the trip to correct it, you'll be getting performance score hits just for sitting at a guard shack because it's a thunderstorm or it's a bunch of trucks or it's some type of delay. So that's what I'm saying right now. Amazon Relay really gets tricky. Is it worth it? Yes, but I wouldn't try to do it without some type of guidance because you will find yourself like chasing your tail to where it's like a lot of nights are just hit and miss first and foremost. And then if you just don't understand certain things, like you'll just end up in a bind all the way around the board. And that's why I say way back when it was relaxed rules and regulations as far as Amazon, brokers, rentals, DOT, even the CDL requirements. It's like the more popular the space became, the stricter everything got. Like even with, like I said, the CDL requirements. I got my CDL by just renting a truck. I was shocked they gave me the truck. I went to Chicago truck rental, paid for a rental truck. It probably wasn't even $300 then, and drove off to the Secretary of State to take my CDL test. I was sitting in the truck like, I can't believe they just gave me the keys. Like nobody gonna go with me. Like, no, they just gave me the keys and was like, all right, go ahead, see you when you get back. Good luck. And I drove to the Secretary of State. Now you gotta go through, a bunch of different stuff to get a CDL and different certifications. So everything over time has changed and it's gotten stricter the more popular, like I said, the space has become. And it's like everybody know about box trucking now. It's its own thing. Like it's not even considered trucking. It's box trucking. Like it's its own little sector in the trucking industry now, which is crazy because it's all the same to me. It's just LTL as opposed to full truckloads. But, like I said, it's its own thing now. I think you probably still could get a free trial, but it's a certain package that DAT has. And I've heard it talked about. I don't know. That's why I don't want to give specifics. I think it's 150, maybe more. But that's to see loads real time. It would be similar to Amazon Relay's early access. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. The higher, more expensive package is going to give you quicker access to loads. I guess you see them sooner than the $50 package. So that's kind of what I've been getting from the individuals who do use DAT. That it's a more expensive package that you need to have. It's almost not even worth having that $50 deal. That's from what I'm hearing from a lot of individuals who use DAT. But I do think within the next couple weeks, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on there. I have been hearing that it's a lot of local and regional. And that's why I've been kind of staying away from it because when I think of the load board, for the most part, I think of going OTR. Now, I know they have shorter runs, but when I had it, most of the stuff was OTR. That's what I was seeing on there. But with this being, the Chicagoland area and surrounding areas, I'm sure that they do have a lot more local stuff. And that's probably ways for me to get connected with companies. That way I can, have something steady and day to day. Cause that's something I really want to do too. Like I'm tired of the load board, day to day, booking process. And I'd rather have something scheduled and set in stone, at least for a period of time. Cause I understand we own the operators. If I start something and I don't like it, then I just stop doing it. Like I'm not obligated to do anything that I don't want to do. So that's kind of why I'm open to trying different stuff. It ain't like a job where if you accept a position, now you stuck in that position. Now I can't move back. If I accept a contract and it's not what I expected, I've done it in the past, then I leave. I remove myself and that's it. So I'm not obligated to do anything. And that's always a plus, with being your own boss, where you can kind of choose what you do or don't want to do, as well as your drivers, what they do or don't do. That's all up to you, and you determine that. The truth matters. The truth telling the truth. Hit the like button. 20 people, 15 likes. 5 of y'all ain't hit the like button. Somebody hit the like button for me. I'm trying to do more of these for y'all. I told y'all I ain't feeling the love. A good mileage on a box truck to purchase. I'm starting to kind of see that mileage don't honestly really matter. I'm just telling you the truth. It's the way the truck has been maintained. Like where I park my truck now, and that's something I sorted out because I'm doing a live stream on that too, probably a video, truck parking, and just individuals parking their truck in random places. I got some stuff I want to talk about pertaining to that as well. But over the last month or so, I have truck parking now that I pay for. It's always fun to have, free parking, but it's some stuff I'm gonna put y'all up on that been going on. Some things I ain't never spoke on, and then there's other stuff I have spoke on. But there's some stuff going on with these trucks where y'all need to be careful. And that's why I'm put that out there. But for the last month or so, I just pay for truck parking. And it's also right near a diesel shop. So I got like the best of both worlds. And, that's been working in my favor. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about, truck parking, like I said, later on down the line too. But you definitely want to think about where you parking your truck. I see trucks just dumped off anywhere. People just leave their trucks and they cool with it. And you may or may not realize, but it's individuals out here that are preying on that. And there's stuff going on that you may not even realize. That little $200-300 that you think you saving a month may not even be worth it. And that's what I want to kind of talk about. Is free truck parking really even free? Because it's some sharks out here. And I've saw something that I'm gonna touch on, later on. But just be careful. I say that. And yeah, it's more of a peace of mind having a designated spot to park your truck, you know, when you're not in it, and say you go on vacation or you just away where you gotta leave the truck for a period of time. Like I said, a lot of these trucks are being left in unsecured locations. And it's been going on forever, but you definitely, like I said, you want to be careful. That's for sure. Any perks for CDL at Amazon? One thing, my homeboy got a CDL, and one thing that's a perk is that they'll email you for uh spotter positions at a lot of their different facilities. So you could go use their equipment and be a spotter, or they have power only. And a lot of that stuff comes through email. I get them as well. But if you have a class A CDL, you can spot the trucks. So that's a plus to having a CDL. And yeah, they'll send out the email looking for particular spotters, and you could respond. And I think he make like $90 an hour using their equipment. And he do like 8-hour days. I just hollered at him like last week. And yeah, that's what he's doing. He got a box truck and a semi, but he uses their equipment to spot. And then he also pulls Amazon's trailers from time to time. But yeah, he was calling me a week ago because he jumped in his box truck and he was just like, man, it's bad right now in the box trucks. And I was getting decent rates, but he hadn't been in the box truck for a while. And like I said, the lows are all dropping at once. So if you miss that drop time, then you might be ass out. Excuse my French, but that's kind of what's going on right now. So he had missed the drop times and he was sitting all night trying to play it how we used to. And it just wasn't nothing coming up. And I told him I had been on the board that whole night too. And I hadn't seen much come up after I booked either. So when you see them, you got to book them. And that's why these lows are going so quick, because as they start to diminish, people just kind of take whatever they could take to have something to run. But like I said, to me, that ain't always a good thing. Like, I don't like just running freight just for the sake of running freight. That ain't, you know, that ain't the thing for me. I want something that makes sense. So I believe you need a class C if a box truck has air brakes. So you just need a class C license. You don't need a CDL for anything under 2,000 or 26,001 pounds. So yeah, it's just a class C if you have air brakes on the box truck and it's over, I believe, 16,000. Yeah, my truck is good. Just the regular maintenance stuff, but yeah, for the most part, everything is good with the truck. And like I said, where I park at, I have a shop there that, can tend to any small things that may come up. Like I needed to do a regen recently and they knocked that out super quick. But yeah, if any of you guys are in, Chicago or the surrounding areas and need a shop, get with me. I ain't gonna just put them, because now I'm using them too, and I don't want to just flood them with different people. Because I did this with another shop, and I think they got so much business off of me, and yeah, it was crazy. So this particular shop, I'm just kind of, you know, I was introduced to them, and they really good guys. Most of their stuff is like same day. So yeah, if it's somebody that would need something, I would help out, but I ain't gonna put them out on YouTube. If you rent from Enterprise, can you use their parking? I've done it. I was leaving my truck at Enterprise and parking my car there recently for a while, but I've rented from Enterprise for years. Like they know me. When I go in, they know who I am. So I wouldn't have I talk to them, talk to Enterprise and see. I didn't even honestly ask. The truck broke down. So I had to take a truck back. So I ended up having to be in my personal vehicle. So when I picked the replacement truck up, I just left my personal vehicle there in they adjacent lot. And they would see me come back and forth and switch it out. They wasn't really saying nothing, but that only went on for a week. Like long-term parking, they probably not gonna want you bringing that truck back and forth onto their property like for months. But yeah, I did it for a little while. I mean, it just depends on the relationship, honestly. CDL box trucks, I don't really see the point. Like, I don't think you're gonna make a whole bunch more money with a CDL box truck. It's possible. To me, you'll be better off trying to do something specialized like hazmat or something like that, as opposed to trying to get like a CDL box truck. Like I have a hazmat certification, and I've been thinking about looking into that. That's why DAT is going to be a plus, because I'll probably be able to find a lot of like specialized loads there, because it's damn near a shame that I've had the certification for probably 3 years and I've never actually utilized it. And I know a lot of the hazmat loads pay a whole lot more, and they're harder for them to get filled because a lot of people don't have the hazmat certification. And it's simple to get. You just get fingerprinted, and I forget, it was like $90, and pretty much you'll be certified within maybe a couple weeks to a month, just depending on how long it takes for everything to come back. So that's something to think about too. You could always go hazmat, but I don't see a whole lot of profit in a CDL box truck. I would just go with a non-CDL. It'll make, to me, things a whole lot more simple, honestly. The best time to catch loads on relay, that's going to depend on your area, honestly. Like, I'm thinking between 6 and 8 p.m. in my area is when they're dropping the load, and they switch the time. So sometimes they'll come out this day, and then other times they'll come out another day. So it just depends, but they switch the times. But between 6 and 7, I would say, and definitely about 8 p.m., most of the stuff is distributed. You will catch some stuff come out at 2, 4, but a lot of that stuff is the stuff that's paying $1.80 a mile, and they'll let that stuff sit there all day. Sometimes damn near until the pickup time. Like I said, it'll be at $1 some a mile until an hour before it's supposed to be picked up. And then they'll start to slowly increase the rate. And somebody will take it once it gets to $3, maybe $3.15 a mile. But yeah, the times are always changing, but I would say 6 and 8 p.m. would be the best time to be on the app looking for loads if you want to get the best rate possible. The Renaissance said, pay the park, fellas. Yep. I 100% agree. It ain't worth it. Because I'm telling you, like, it's always somebody watching. There's always somebody paying attention. It's always somebody with the same truck that you have. So a hint to the wise is sufficient. And people will be wondering why they constantly encountering different issues and so forth. It might be a reason why. You might be able to peek over at, the individual next to you, and they might have something to do with that. It might just be looking right at you like, it's competitive out here. It's a lot of different reasons why certain stuff could happen. But some of the stuff that's why I say I'm gonna touch on it, because right now it sounds like I'm talking weird. But when I explain to individuals what I've actually seen out here, because I pay attention too. And that's why I'm saying that. But he's absolutely right. You just probably better off getting secured parking, because yeah, it's some individuals out here that they ain't playing fair. So you definitely want to be careful. He said, right now I'm in the guard shack at Amazon and trying to get into the box truck game. Yeah, just keep working. That's what I say. Stack your money up and, you know, touch bases with somebody that could kind of, guide you in the right direction. Cause right now, starting out, it's possible, it's just rough. And, you kind of want to come in with some type of plan. and have other resources. Like I wouldn't just try to run Amazon Relay either. I would definitely try to, move into other. It's a lot going on right now, and that's what I'm seeing. Like every day I see a different opportunity. It's just more in what individuals do or don't want to do. So yeah, if you're gonna come in, you say you in the guard shack. I know y'all have times to, just kind of chill and do some research, keep watching YouTube videos, like, you know, do your due diligence. That way later on down the line, you don't run into some of the issues that a lot of people have, because it could get tricky starting out. And you hear a lot of people say that they're just writing off the first 6 months because they feel like they just can't make any money if they're not like leased on to another carrier, especially with Amazon being off of the table, for the first 180 days. So that's something to think about. You don't want to get out here and have equipment sitting that you're unable to move because you can't book any freight. And like I said, right now it's highly competitive, and box trucks and box truck owner operators are highly scrutinized. Like from DOT to the brokers to Amazon to the rental companies, like I said, even to attempting to get a CDL, everything is stricter now. So plan to come in and, persevere. I say that. Don't think it's just going to be a walk in the park. And I don't think a lot of that's being put out now. I think people understand kind of what they're facing and are coming in, up for the task. But I tell anybody, just expect it to be rough sometimes, even for the experienced individuals. We even have it tough from time to time. Like I said, I had a week and a half, 2-week period where I felt like everything was a test. And I had to just mentally coach myself to say, hey, this is what happens out here on a day-to-day basis. Don't take it personal. Don't get bent out of shape, and, just keep your head in the game. I have to still coach myself because situations could just get exaggerated. And this is something I touched on in the video too. Like people start companies and they think I'm just going to move directly into a boss role, and you'll start a company and, be running freight, and you could have an individual making 8, 10, $12 an hour, bossing you around, telling you what to do, sit down, shut up, shit like that. You see what I'm saying? This is what's going on. So you're never in a situation where you don't have to abide by rules or listen to someone else, no matter how much work you put in or what business you start. You're always going to have to adhere to somebody else. And it may be somebody who you may look at as not even being at the level that you're at, but they're still in a position of power. And you still have to abide by their rules and, what their directions are. So people don't understand that. They think they just start a business and they're free from any type of, you know, say so. And that's not the case. You always gonna have a higher up, whether it's, like I said, a security guard, another company, a shipper, a customer. You're always gonna have to answer to somebody. You're never gonna completely be the guy that's calling all of the shots. So I think a lot of people don't understand that, and they just kind of get caught up in, oh, well, I own a business, this, that, and the other. But that's not always the case. Of course, you could age your authority on vehicles under 10,000 pounds. You could age your authority with a cargo van, a sprinter van. Yeah, it don't have to be a box truck. You just have to have a authority and be authorized to run freight and have active insurance. And yeah, your authority will age regardless of, you know, what equipment you use. So yeah, that's true. You can age your authority with a Chevy Express as long as you got a DOT or MC and active insurance. Trucks parked on the street are being hit up like box Chevys. What, back in the days? Yeah, it's true. I told you they out here, and I ain't gonna spoil it. I'm gonna talk about that, but yeah, they lurking, and you gotta realize. I mean, it's only the newer trucks. It's only so many trucks. You got Freightliners, you got Hinos, and you got Internationals. They ain't really stealing off the old trucks. See, I'm revealing shit, but they not really stealing off the old trucks and replacing parts and stealing tires and you know they're not doing that to the older trucks because them parts are harder to match up and they older parts. But these newer 2015 probably 2014 and newer, you got to be careful. You have people sitting around, they waiting and they see everybody. Okay, everybody think it's sweet, they parking these trucks here and there, and yeah, it's going on. So it's it's different now. But it ain't just tires. And that's why I said I'm going to touch on it because I directly witnessed somebody trying to be slick. And I was just watching and just paying attention. And they know I saw. That's the crazy part. But I'm gonna get into it later. I ain't gonna even keep talking about it because y'all gonna think I'm trying to. So I'm gonna shut up about it. But it's coming in the video, on something that I saw, and it was actually on a Sunday morning. Somebody was on dirt on a Sunday morning, 8, 9 a.m. I went to pull my truck in a truck stop, and this when I had my parking. But this particular day, I had not moved my personal vehicle yet. So I was still gonna park in the truck stop this particular day. This the day I moved my car and my truck. Cause what I saw when I pulled into the truck stop, yeah, it was crazy. And people think they slick, but sometimes you ain't slick enough because see, realize, what I'm saying, certain people gonna peep stuff that, other people might be sleep on. And it's certain individuals they think they slick. But like I said, even those individuals, eventually you're gonna run into a issue playing that way. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you gonna catch the wrong person and they gonna catch you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing to their equipment. And they gonna light a fire up under your ass. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Like, you don't catch the wrong individual and playing around, like I'm gonna quit talking about it. But yeah, it's crazy out here right now. Y'all definitely gotta be careful. And that's why I'm gonna, do a live stream or a video on it. You know, is free truck parking really free? Because yeah, you definitely got to be careful. Sac G, appreciate the support, man. I definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, them MCS 150s are due. They sending them emails out if you ain't done those yet, your mileage reports for the year. That and the annual reports. Like, I don't know when y'all got to do y'all annual yearly reports with the Secretary of State, but I know a lot of those are coming due as well. And if you don't do those, then your LLC with the Secretary of State will be considered inactive. So you got to do the annual reports as well as them MCS 150s, which just is the mileage reports. You just go in and report your yearly mileage for your trucking company. But you got to do that once a year. See, see, y'all. People think I just be talking, but cause I see it, cause I be out here, and sometimes you just in the right spot at the right time. But yeah, people they swapping it out right now, man. So you don't, and that's my thought process. I would rather just pay for parking than be coming back to my equipment experiencing issues due to you know some weird stuff. Just put it like that. So yeah, it ain't worth it. I was paying for parking for a long period of time. I stopped because I saw an avenue that I thought was free. And yeah, for the last month and a half, I've been back paying for parking. It make me go a little bit out my way, but it's well worth it. And it's way more of a peace of mind. And there's sometimes when I'm looking for loads, I could go park there, wait. I ain't even got to jump. So it works in my favor as opposed to them random. I see trucks parked everywhere. And not only are you running the risk of somebody putting stickers, you see a lot of stickers on these box trucks, the green ones and the orange ones, from individuals parking in these weird spots, and then whatever establishment they ticket the trucks. I've got a ticket on my truck for parking, in random spots. And people just pick a spot, start parking there and go back and forth. Even at some of the gyms and so forth, you see people, just using it for truck parking. And it seemed cool. Depending on the area, it may be. But I'm telling you, it's a lot going on that's not meeting the eye. And that's why I say when you jump out that truck, if you are going to leave it in a random spot, I would look it over really good before I leave and when I come back. Because essentially, when you in these trucks, your life is on the line. And you don't know what could occur in the 10, 12 hours that you have been away and that truck been sitting. I've seen individuals leave trucks for 2, 3, 4 days in the same spot, come back, jump in them and go. So it may seem like, oh, it's harmless, but I'm telling you, it's a lot going on. Yes, if you change vehicles, he's saying he got an authority and then he's going to get a box truck. Does he need to report to the FMCSA that he's in a vehicle now that's over 10,000 pounds? Yes, because the regulations are different for a vehicle under 10,000 pounds as opposed to over 10,000 pounds. A vehicle over 10,000 pounds, you need a new entrant. Well, yes, for a vehicle over 10,000 pounds, you need a new entrant safety audit. I was going to say over 16,000 pounds, but no, it's over 10. You need a new entrant safety audit. You don't need a new entrant safety audit for a vehicle under 10,000 pounds. So that's one big difference. And then any vehicle that you add to your fleet, you need to report that vehicle to the FMCSA and have that on your FMCSA profile. So yes, anytime you switch to a larger vehicle, you're definitely going to want to notify the FMCSA and have that vehicle on your FMCSA profile before you operate it. Before you put that vehicle into operation, moving freight, you need to report it to the FMCSA. That's a definite. Yeah, you pay the 300 and then I would get my insurance like the 18th or the 19th day because they're going to check for it around the 21st day. So you want to already have it. You don't want to run into no issues with that. So yeah, get the insurance the 18th or the 19th day. I got Keep Trucking, and I got 2 ELDs through Keep Trucking if I need to use them. But you guys also need to be aware of the 16-hour local rule, which I've talked about in the past. So if you local and you starting and ending at the same spot, it's a 16-hour day as opposed to if you're on that 10-hour clock. So it just depends if you're local, starting and ending in the same spot. But if you're going outside of 150 miles and you're not starting and ending in the same spot, then yes, you should either be using a logbook or ELD. A logbook you could pick up at any truck stop. But the ELD, most people go through Motive, Keep Trucking. That's who I got my 2 ELDs through. But I mean, it's a lot of ELD providers. That's who I've always gone through. So that's the only company I could recommend right off the bat. But it's a bunch of them. If he said he started in Amazon in Baton Rouge, I'm trying to get up to New Orleans too sometime this summer. That's gonna be one of my vacation spots. But yeah, if you're not seeing box trucks at a particular facility, it may not be a box truck facility. It may be for cargo vans, Amazon Flex, or so forth. Each facility, does a different function. So you have some facilities that are mainly inbound, meaning they accept inbound trailers and inbound semis. Then you have other facilities that are fulfillment centers, and they provide the freight for the box trucks that go to the USPS facilities. So the best piece of advice I could give you is to drive up to the guard shack, get out your car, walk up there, and just tell them, "Hey, I'm wondering, do you guys provide freight for box trucks?" And I'm sure they'll tell you. That would be my advice, because if you're not seeing box trucks at a particular facility, it's a good chance that they don't provide freight for them, and it's not a fulfillment center. Yeah, your insurance agent should submit everything and file everything with the FMCSA, and they should see it within, I believe, like 24 hours from you putting it in. Yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody that fell through. And yeah, I'm gonna run this on maybe a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna get out of here. We've been here almost 2.5 hours, just kind of kicking it. And yeah, I appreciate you guys dropping through. I'm not planning on being as busy as I've been over the last month and a half or so. So I'm definitely gonna pop back in with the live streams. Like I said, I got a bunch of new content coming as well. But I'll be planning to do more of these live streams and just kind of get tied up in the day to day. But once I do them, like I said, it's always, a good time kicking it with you guys. So if you're in and you haven't hit the like button, please do so now. And I'm going to take a few more questions, and then yeah, we gonna get up out of here. I'll be back within a week or so because I definitely, like I said, want to touch on the parking situation, and it's a couple other things pertaining to like trucks and some questions that I got for you guys. So that'll be coming here shortly. $1,800 for 6 months. That's 1,800 a month for 6 months. It's a little on the higher side, but I've heard way worse. If you're saying your premium is gonna be 1,800 a month, I've heard way worse than that. So I would try to shoot for closer to 12, but if that's the best you could get being a new authority, then I mean I would take it because yeah, like I said, it's a lot better than 2,200. The Renaissance. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I try to, yeah, bring as much information as I can and then, take whatever questions come in. But I gotta start doing more of these. That's a definite. Gotta start doing more of these. Oh, okay. 1,800 total. Yeah, that makes sense. 1,600 a month. Yeah, that sound about right. That sound about right. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys don't have anything else for me, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Like I said, I'm trying to run something tonight, so I'm gonna probably jump on the board and see what's going on. But like I said, if you're here, you haven't hit the like button, do so for me. And I have something coming up here in the next couple days, video wise, and then I'm gonna try to do another one of these in the next week or so. So with that being said, you guys stay safe out there, take it easy, and have a good one. Appreciate y'all. Peace.